Hello, everyone. It is so great to be back on YouTube. It was so encouraging after I posted that latest video, that Damash reaction, just seeing all your comments, all your well wishes, people who really started the channel with me, who have been part of the journey, straight back in there talking to me. You guys know who you are. It is so great to be back, and it was so encouraging for me, as I just said. So thank you. I wanted to make this video to share a little bit about where I've been, some vision going forward, some great ideas I have for this channel, some projects I've been working on, and some ideas looking forward related to that. So please watch this if you can all the way through. I'm sure there's something for you. The first thing I wanted to share was where I've been. As you guys know, or a lot of you know, I've got a young family and I actually work a lot of jobs. I've limited my singing teaching to one afternoon a week. So I'm still a vocal coach, but I kind of do that one afternoon a week. I actually am part of the well-being team at a school in the area, a really great school, and I'm loving that. I also work for my church, and I also have my music and some other things I do with a young family. So as you can imagine, I'm pretty busy. I'm running around a lot. And when it started to become the case, whenever I'd upload a video, it'd get taken down for copyright, it ended up becoming more and more difficult to justify the time I was investing in YouTube, unfortunately. Part of that's financial. You know, you spend a day's worth of work, you get nothing in return. The copyright claims end up taking any finance away. And then I'm really busy in the other spheres of life, the other things I'm doing that I really care about. And it became really difficult. And I never made a conscious decision to stop posting, but it just became, as I said, not very viable for me with the other things going on in my life. So every time I'd try to make a YouTube video, it'd get delayed for some kind of reason. And so I want to fix this going forward. As I said, copyright was a big issue. And so I'm actually inviting anyone out there to support me in Patreon. The reason for this is Patreon solves a bunch of issues. Firstly, for like per person can just give a small donation per month. If I get enough of that, it actually makes it far more viable for me to devote more time making YouTube content. Secondly, Patreon also provides a way for you guys out there to have a say in the upcoming reaction videos that I do and the upcoming analysis. So I'll actually do one video per month that is purely through a Patreon poll, and everyone on the Patreon can basically put in their say for what videos I should do and have a greater say. So by opening up Patreon, it actually solves a few different issues. You know, what should I do? What videos should I make? And the viability financially. So I'm going to invite you, if there's anyone out there who's in a position financially to support the channel, I'd love for you to do that. The link will be below. I'm still going to commit to doing one video per week, no matter what. Even if no one supports me on Patreon, I don't do it for money. But if you're able to support, my goal is to be able to at least do 2 videos per week, or maybe even more. And that is all based on that Patreon. So check that out below. I want it to go to another level, and I want our community to go to another level. I'm still going to check the comments here, so feel free to still comment and recommend videos here on YouTube, but the Patreon will just be another level. But as I said, I haven't been doing nothing. In fact, I've had one creative project that I worked on for a full year that was something that I'd been wanting to do for a long time, and that was a visual novel I released called the VII Enigma. Now, a visual novel is a hybrid between a normal novel and it's kind of like a video game, but let me explain. It's not a video game in the sense that it's about gameplay. You see, you play it on your computer, but it's essentially a novel that has a soundtrack, that has visuals, and at occasional points in the story, you can make a choice about where the story might go. Kind of like one of those old choose your own adventure books, but with a soundtrack and visuals. The reason I did this is because I'd always wanted to write a novel. And even though I'm quite a good writer, getting published and all the kind of stuff revolving around writing a book was really difficult. And by doing a visual novel, I could use some of my other skill sets, so my online skill sets, my music. So this visual novel actually has 30 original songs that I've written. So if you want to hear some music I've been writing, I've written 30 songs for this. Now, granted, a lot of it's more background music type songs, but some of them are really, really good songs in the sense that I put a lot of effort into them. As well as that, you've got a story that's about twice the length of a normal kind of novel. It's about the length of one of the Lord of the Rings books. So it's a dense story. It's actually a dark sci-fi story. It's quite a dark story about time, about control, about reality itself. And really, it's about rediscovering hope. So even though it's quite a dark story, it's about finding light and about finding hope. And so if you like to read, if you like games, if you like visual novels, check that out. It's got a graphic novel art style. The link will be below as well. And it's only $5, $10, depending on your local currency. And so it's quite cheap and you'll get plenty of value out of that. Finally, I'd really like to do a live stream soon, and I'd love to perform SOS completely live with you guys. I actually wanted to do this live, and I have performed it once live before, but I wanted to perform it live and get a great recording of it to put on YouTube. But unfortunately, I've stopped really performing live after COVID. I was with a management company here in the Newcastle area of Australia, EAO, they're a great company. But once COVID hit, all the venues started closing down, and it was very difficult because you get booked in and then restrictions would lock us down. And eventually I actually stopped being represented by that company because I withdrew, from playing live gigs. It was just too difficult for me to justify doing that when it was up and down all the time. And so I don't have any live performances kind of booked at the moment. So I thought, well, let's just do it online. I don't have to leave my house and we can interact. It can just be like an online concert. So I'm going to do that soon. I'd love to do it in the next week, but it might be more like in the next 2 weeks. So I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm just going to have to take my opportunity whenever I got time, whenever my daughter isn't asleep at midnight or, whatever. So be on the lookout for that. I really look forward to doing that. And finally, I just wanted to say thank you again. It has been so encouraging to see you all. I really want to build this community more. I want more interaction. So please consider supporting me on Patreon. But even if you can't do that, that's completely fine. I still look through as many comments as I'm able to here on YouTube. And thank you. It's because of you that this channel is happening at all. And I really look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Goodbye.